deposits on properties that you have not checked the High Court in relation to receivers placed illegally. Be warned, check your legal facts in the High Court. Not here, it's not disclosed. Thank you.
The rent is wrong. There's a shortfall. It's actually €1,980 less. And I can tell you now that there'll be 3 tenants less in that property if that was done here today. I have my brother-in-law here bid for it. Please, 110 years of my family. I'm here to fight for it.
Lot number 40, you do not have the owner's consent to sell this property. The person you say owns it does not own it. It's owned by a trust. I'm here representing that trust. You are now participating in a fraud. Anybody that's at that top table that auctions this property is participating in a fraud. You have no option or no alternative but to take commercial liens against everyone and anyone involved in this. You do not have to consent to the person. This property is in litigation. How dare you put a property up there without the owner's consent? You stand up there bidding on property and include these people in your fraud. Now, I'll tell you something. If this goes ahead today, we will take commercial liens. And for people that don't know what a commercial lien is, you will have no pension. You will have no investment property. We have it. So before you take that hammer down, be careful. Do not bid on lot number 40. It is in litigation. It is not here for auction. The owner has not given consent. And if you do, you will be involved in a fraud.
Thank you.
This has gone to the guards. From Peter's gone to the guards.
We discussed it. We talked about it 2 minutes ago.
I gave you the option to discuss this in private.
But
you didn't want to do that.
We are looking into it now.
What you want to do is change the whole rule books and forget about the legal system to get greed, to get your percentage. The solicitors here are taking instructions from an accountant and an auctioneer. So we don't need the legal system anymore. So why bother with it? Just get rid of it and let you guys run the whole country. You cannot sell a property without the owner's consent. Now, are you telling me, is this property going for auction today? I want it on record. Is this property number 40? Is it going for auction today because you were involved in a fraud? And I want it on public record. Is this property going to auction today?
Yes, sir.
It is. That's fine. There's people here witness that. Take the consequences. Beware that because the properties here that are in litigation. And if you place a deposit on lot number 40, you will not get that deposit back. You understand that? You will not get your deposit back. Plus, there's no goodwill going with that place. Or any other place that's been auctioned here with a receiver in it. Thank you very much.
Okay, does anybody else want to say anything? I continue. Sorry. We have instructions to sell it, and all of the contract terms are in the paperwork, which is upstairs. As I said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, if you are concerned about anything in the paperwork for any property, not just that particular one, then I do urge you not to buy the property. But we have instructions today under contract with our clients to sell that particular property and all the other properties that we're selling today.
You haven't got the goodwill. Have you the goodwill of the property? The owner's goodwill to sell it.
I have instructions to sell it.
Forget about instructions. Have you the goodwill of the owner to sell it?
So I have instructions to sell it. I must carry on.
Who's selling it?
So I must carry on.
Who's selling it?
Continue to disturb
No. Who's selling it? Who gave you instruction to sell it?
My client is selling it.
Your client, have you got the goodwill of it? That's the question. And everybody here needs to be aware of our history, what Parnell said about people who actually buy property that's been taken from somebody else.
This
is our history. You have a potty cheek to outspeak me. This is the room the Irish Constitution was drafted in. And people need to respect what's going on in this country. This property is not being sold with the goodwill.
And the rest of the properties, they should declare whether they've goodwill, and then you people decide on the internet or anywhere else whether you want to buy them or not.
Why don't you put the banks into receivership? Small business go into receivership and banks get away with murder. Murder!
You purchase here today, you are supporting the banking institutions, nobody else.
You want to spend money, help your neighbour. If you have any other, get up and walk out.
And your brothers. Neighbours, walk out.
Out! Out! Gentlemen on the podium, what is there to discuss? You're selling property with bad title. Cancel this auction now and leave it.
Shame on Allsop's. English agents selling Irish properties. Shame on them.
Shame! Shame on the hotel! Shame!
They've done that here for hundreds of years. The landlords sold that to people.
Stolen property for sale here today.
Shame on the
Shame on the hotel! Shame on the hotel!
Shame on the whole lot of it.
What they should do is take a permanent break, and they should understand that every property that's in these catalogues is noted by people in Ireland being sold by British auctioneers. And remember our history, remember what Parnell said and the Land League had to do. And if we have to do it, we'll have to do it again against the bankers, the judiciary, and the politicians who are putting people out of their homes. Remember, this is not being done by one person. The bankers started it, but these people are contributing to it.
Here, here.
Come on.
Here, here.
And I tell all you auctioneers, you should remember what our history did to the British people, and you should remember it, and take a damn green and go away and find out what he said about you, because nothing is good enough for you. They couldn't sell them here to banks themselves, and they had to bring in British imperialist auctioneers.
Turn off your laptop. Ireland is not for sale. Ireland is not for sale.
I hope you can go home and look at your parents in the face and tell them how you made money today off the backs of the Irish people. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Stop! That's what you should be. How can you sit down at a table and look at your family, your friends, and tell everybody you're vultures?
We're going to form a convoy outside, and we're going to shame you all into leaving the place. This is history. This is what happened in Ireland before, and it's not going to happen again. And this will happen at every other auction. Also, take note.
People are leaving and we appreciate it. Some people have decency.
You can leave. After this, we are marching to the Dole to hand in a proclamation. We're demanding that the government have an immediate inquiry within the next 4 weeks and stop fluting around. Enda Kenny is worrying about the Senate instead of worrying about the Irish Constitution and what's going on in this country. We need to have a protest, we need to have a proclamation, and we're handing it in today to the Dole. So when we leave here, that's where we're going. So if you're here to bid, we give you time to leave now, before everybody else heads to the Dole. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 politicians here. Paddy McGrath, Tom Fleming, and Michael Healy-Wren. And they're talking to the British auctioneers now to see what they're going to do.
Are you going to consider stopping the auction?
Yeah, we're hoping that you
call off the auction.
Call off the auction. Today, in the interest of peace and everything else and understanding, we'd ask you to postpone the auction. Today, we have no difficulty with the hotel or anything else, but peoples are hurting and emotions are running high.
There are people here today who are very aggrieved that family property is being sold.
Yes.
And they're very upset. They want the auction to be stopped.
Yes.
So
you heard him yourself.
And give these landowners and property owners an opportunity to renegotiate
with the banks.
It's only to the least they deserve.
A lot of the properties that are inside this, there are horror stories behind it. People who are struggling, trying to pay back for the properties. The banks have now taken them off of them. And they are here today, seeing their homes, their businesses that they worked very hard for, being sold here today. And it's wrong.
That lady
and we appreciate one thing. We appreciate you're just doing a job, and we understand that. But we're respectfully saying to call off the auction
today.
Give these property owners who are aggrieved a chance to talk to their banks and to see can they retain their properties.
The auction will not be continuing if we have to stay here till the evening. Tomorrow, Christmas.
What year? 2032.
Please leave and support the protest. The auction is not continuing today anyway.
We tried to talk to the hotel. We said we would let them leave the front door. But no, they negotiated a retreat out the back door. So now, what we've told the hotel is, we're not leaving till they give an undertaking that this will never happen in this hotel again. By British owners of the hotel.
Have to cancel today.